You're watching Vagabrothers, and this is the Icefields Parkway in Alberta, Canada. Just touched down in Edmonton. First stop, smallest distillery in Canada. This is Strathcona Spirits Distillery. Like Alex said, it's a very small place. It used to be a music venue called the Baby Seal Club. And like all of Edmonton in general, this place is small, but it's got a lot of things going on. It punches above its weight for food and drink in this city. We're gonna sample some of the local spirits and then start off an evening, and this is gonna be an epic trip.
Edmonton, everything's for us, by us. And the art scene is so, it's like an incubator. Like, it's so well collaborative in nature. It's not competitive. Like, all of the different spirits companies, we feel like we're all in this together. It's us against the big guys. I think there's just this kind of we're all in it together vibe.
Alright, so it's our first proper night in Edmonton. We've been to Alberta 2 times before, in the summer, in the fall, and now we're about to do it in the winter. We're going to be driving all the way down through the Icefields Parkway, through Jasper, Banff, Lake Louise, and down to Calgary. But first we're experiencing some of the great things here in Edmonton. I love Alberta. I think that Canada in general is an amazing country, but there's something special for me about Alberta. I love the fact that the Rocky Mountains are here, the prairies. It kind of reminds me of like Colorado. Good vibes all around. Canadians and Albertans in particular are a unique breed, and I'm really excited to do this road trip again. I think that road tripping through the Rockies is a pleasure any time of year. Snowboarding, I think we're gonna go dog sledding, and there's just a lot of really cool things. Well, we have made it to dinner. We're at a restaurant called Woodwork. The chef here is named David Leader. The food so far has been incredible, and we are only really getting started. We've had some cocktails, but right now we have a little potato gnocchi with fresh truffle. The main show, Alberta steak. Well, we have been driving for the better part of the day. We left Edmonton and we've been on the road for about 4 hours now, but we're finally starting to get into the Rocky Mountains. Jasper is about 45 minutes away. We'll be hanging out at the Jasper Fairmont, and we're gonna be doing some snowboarding, exploring Jasper National Park, but it's so cool because we've driven this same stretch of highway, but in a different season. The last time we were here, all the trees, were turning, so they were yellow, and there was no snow on the ground. Sunlight breaking through the clouds, and I'm just super excited.
The Canadian Rockies are gorgeous, and we're gonna be going down the Icefields Parkway. It's essentially a scenic freeway that connects Jasper, Lake Louise, and Banff. We'll be coming around and exiting out by Calgary in a couple of days, but today and the next couple of days we'll be based down at Jasper. It's a national park. There's a wilderness lodge that's very famous, very historic. We'll be staying there tonight, going up to Marmot Basin tomorrow to go snowboarding.
Well, we've just passed into the park and we've been greeted by a huge herd of bighorn sheep. It's so cool to see these animals out here. It's actually pretty difficult to imagine how they survive, but I'm sure they have a nice thick coat of fur. But it's crazy, they're just climbing up these vertical cliff walls and they're doing it so easily.
We are visiting their world, not the other way around. So when you're driving through here, you know, this was like a Alberta roadblock. They were all in the middle of the highway. You had semi trucks pulling over to stop and let these animals pass, and that's a beautiful thing.
Okay, well, we have just arrived to our hotel, the Jasper Fairmont Lodge. The view out the window is spectacular. There's just beautiful light on the mountains right now. The sunset's pretty early around here in the wintertime. I think it's like 4:30 or 5 when the sun goes down, but you can get some pretty spectacular sunsets. Good morning from Jasper. It's about 7:45 in the morning. We're down here at the Orsa Trattoria in Fairmont and we're having an incredible breakfast buffet. We'll fuel up, warm up, drink a bunch of coffee, and then head up to Marmot Basin to go snowboarding.
Marmot Basin, first day, first run of the day, and this is a beautiful mountain. We are surrounded by the beauty of the Rockies, and we're here with Joe, who works here and is going to show us some of the runs on the mountain.
Yeah.
What are we in for today, Joe?
So whatever you guys want, really. Hopefully, maybe try and find some fresh tracks. So we're going to be covering up, but yeah, just a little warm up this morning. Maybe rip through some trees, and then once we get going, we'll maybe take a hike up, see if we can find some fresh powder.
Climbing up along a ridge line to get some access to some fresh powder. Snowed a couple days ago here. Just gonna try to get some fresh tracks. It's cool, it's my second run of the season. done a couple of runs, and now we've just linked up with the ski patrol, and they're taking us to a little back bowl that hasn't been opened in a while, so there's some fresh snow, but we're gonna let Cam here tell us what we're about to get into.
My name's Cam McClellan. I'm the Assistant Director of Public Safety here at Marmot Basin, and we're about to head into some of our newer terrain, Tres Hombres. It's been closed for the last couple days because of some recent cold temps, wind, and a bit of new snow. It's a fairly large alpine feature that we have access to thanks to the use of explosive control work and our avalanche control team. And yeah, looking to have a good time with you guys down here.
Here we go. Switching to GoPro?
GoPro on.
Oh yeah! That was an awesome day on the mountain. Definitely, you know, a first. You can't beat the scenery, honestly. Looking out at the valley, just absolutely gorgeous. But I think it's time to warm up.
A little après.
A little après.
The only thing better than a ski is the après-ski. So we're gonna go head into Jasper, which is a beautiful town, and have some dinner and some drinks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the sun has gone down. It's time to eat. We've come into town here in Jasper, and we're going to the Jasper Brewing Company, a local craft brewery, to grab some beers and some dinner and cap off a really good day.
So we're now inside the Jasper Brewing Company. Very cozy, warm spot from a respite from the cold, and I've ordered a flight of 6 beers. It's their 6 best beers. Good way to have a little sample of what they have, and they also got all this wild game on the menu. So we're gonna get some wild boar ribs and some elk meatloaf. See how that goes.
Food has arrived. We have a big slab of ribs, some mac and cheese, some coleslaw. Mark has elk meatloaf. Hopefully it's not the elks that we saw outside earlier today.
Beautiful morning here in Jasper National Park, but we are heading south down what's known as the Icefields Parkway. It's a scenic highway that connects us all the way down to Banff, and it's got some of the most beautiful scenery in all of North America.
Well, we've just pulled over on the Icefields Parkway. We haven't made it about an hour outside of Jasper, but there's just so many scenic overlooks here. It's insane. It's very few places where you get this pristine mountain landscape. can see the Columbia ice field, there are huge glaciers stretching all the way up this little valley in between these peaks. And all the peaks surrounding us are covered in giant ice flows, giant glaciers, you know, ice that's thousands of years old. And right now we're like the only people out here. So it's pretty incredible. It's definitely a humbling feeling. But for me personally, I feel recharged when I go to nature. So coming out here, being surrounded by this beautiful silence, it's just the best way to do it.
All right, so right now we're finishing our day on the Icefields Parkway in a truly incredible place. It's called Abraham Lake. And although there are many lakes up here in the Rockies, what makes this one distinct is the bubbles that form in the ice of the lake. So we're actually standing on top of the lake right now. All the way behind me is the lake, and what's happening essentially are these bubbles rising up from methane. The air around the methane is frozen, trapping the bubbles in the lake, and the minerals from all the glaciers and from the minerals in the water. And so what also happens is the wind blows off some of the excess snowdrift, and you can actually see the ice of the lake. So I have this little windshield wiper. We're gonna wash off a little bit of snow and take a look at this natural wonder.
Be at your side, stay with me till dawn.
This is crazy. I've never seen anything like it. You know, you have these big frozen white bubbles inside of the ice. And, you know, I think as a Californian, it's kind of strange to be standing in the middle of a frozen lake. We always hear like horror stories about people falling through the ice. Here in Canada, the winters are long and they're cold. And so the ice is very, very thick. But this is definitely a unique geological phenomenon. And I've never really seen anything quite like it.
All right, well, thank you for watching. It's been a fun trip so far through the Icefields Parkway. Jasper was great, and this place is pretty incredible.
Just incredible scenery, beautiful vistas, super friendly people, and as always, Alberta does not disappoint. So if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't already. And in the meantime,
stay curious, keep exploring, and we'll see you on the road, the Icefields Parkway.
peace!
Later.